My first fight is in a few hours. I'm definitely excited, but going in there cold turkey without any experience came with problems as well as lessons. Training on vacation, lost drive to fight, lack of sleep, unsupportive trainers, massive gaps in my skills, etc. etc. And if I didn't learn how to solve these problems, I would probably sit here overthinking about my fight. But I know I am ready and capable to win. And here's how you can do the same. I'm outmaxed and I help the Muslim Ummah become their best version in a halal way. If you don't want to miss any of my future videos, subscribe. Like to push the algorithm so more people benefit from my videos. Leave a comment and share with someone who would benefit from the video. First lesson, train like an athlete, not like a bodybuilder. I've nothing against bodybuilding, not at all. Call myself best bodybuilder, and I've done bodybuilding for several years, but if you want to win in a fight in any sport, you have to train like an athlete in that sport. So if you've done bodybuilding, it's not like, and you build muscle, it's not like the muscle won't benefit you or worse, get in your way. Instead, it helps you, of course, but you can't continue your training in pre-fight season like you did before in bodybuilding. I got a coach, an athletic coach, I'm gonna talk about in the next section, that told me how to train like an athlete. So research how to train for performance, not looks. And honestly, it's far too complex to explain it in this video where it's about me having my fight in a few hours. And also, I'm not credible, but my coach is. Get a coach. Really, if you have the money, if you have the time, if you have the connections, get a coach in whatever field. I got one in athleticism, if you want to call it like that, just out of pure chances. It's not that I've searched for an athletic coach. Maybe I'm gonna tell that story in another video, but a coach that is really credible in his field is really good to have. Especially this here's my coach, Timon Grosse, he's called. He does only German coaching, so if you're German, you should check him out. I know I'm doing my videos in English, but if you can speak German or you know someone who speaks German, please check him out. Send him High Fight if you want to get coaching from him. He was really helpful because my trainers, not my shoes trainers, so the people who trained me in MMA didn't really support me. So in my gym there are 2 sessions back to back. It's Mondays and Wednesdays, and the second session is always for people who are advanced and want to fight. And I wanted to fight, and I asked them if I could do, or that I'm doing the second session, and they doubted me if I'm good enough, even though I absolutely destroyed some of the people that did go to the second session, and no one really believed in me and supported me for my fight until now, obviously. But in the way to the fight, I didn't have anyone, and the coach, especially in the relationship between us, that is more than just coach and coachee, not in a gay way or something. So it was he called it like a little brother and big brother relationship, where it is obviously deeper than just do this exercise and do that. We talked about some private things because I'm doing content creation. He also does content creation, and some other things. We just talked and laughed a lot, and I called him like maybe 200 times in the whole coaching, which is gonna haunt me till the day I die. Yeah, and now I feel more prepared, especially in the athleticism and explosivity, strength, and similar. So everyone trains hard. It's a quote from him in a video or in a post, I don't know. Instagram, you can find it. Everyone trains hard. If you want to win against your opponent, you have to get an edge with something, and as athletic coaching, athletic training is nearly the perfect thing you can improve on that your opponent probably doesn't improve on. Now, a concept I came up with is to push mentally and not physically. Not just physically, I should have said. So many people know, or most people know, how to push physically. So just train hard. If you think you can't do one more rep, do it anyway, and just pushing the bars on your chest, and you push and you push and you push and you push. That's pushing physically, but it's also necessary. It's good. It's not like I'm downplaying pushing physically, but pushing, as I call it now, that is underrated, is to push mentally, because in many situations, in many stress situations, in, for example, martial arts like MMA or even boxing, if your opponent lays on you and has you in a choke, has you in a submission, and it's not really about how hard you push his arm away or how hard you use your legs to stand up. It's more about how intense your focus is, how intense your thinking is. I'm going to do a video about that, because it's a very vague thing to talk about, but I'm trying to explain it. It's like this energy, if you in a choke, or this whole energy, you have some energy or you don't have energy, and something is in you. If you visualize this, you have something in you that you can pull into your muscles and push it, and you have to visualize yourself using this energy and dragging it into your brain or wherever you focus in your brain, and use that energy to think logically and fast. So it's a kind of like you have a muscle that you haven't used yet, and it's hard to use it because you didn't use it yet. And it's kind of with this brain muscle that where you can put your energy in it, and it performs better. Like if you're pulling away the arm from the choke you're in. So try that if you want with chess. Play chess with someone or anything against someone, which is about mental performance and not physical. And one thing I nearly forgot, pushing mentally is more if you have gaps in your technical skills and not physical skills. So a physical skill would be how strong you are pushing something with your legs, or pulling something with your arms, or pushing with your arms, or stabilizing with your neck or your spine. Pushing mentally is more if you have a complex submission or complex skill, and you have to really focus and do this complex thing under stress, under low energy, under bad circumstances. So it's more technical and not as physical. So if you have noticed that it's more about technical skills that you have to get better in, try it out with chess, or I would recommend chess, and watch the video that is coming about that. The fourth thing is dedicate everything to the fight. Here's a picture, a really bad picture of going all in, and this is the cover of my fight that I'm fighting in today. Your opponent is probably doing the same, and if you want to win, you have to get an edge, or at least not let your opponent get an edge that you don't have. And if your opponent is dedicating all of his life to that fight, at least for a few months, you're going to lose by chance and pure logic. If he invests all of his life, or a big chunk of his life, or on his time, his resources, to that fight, and you don't, it would be really arrogant to think that you are going to win. And also, why he does that and why you should do it too, it is the fastest way to make progress. I've done a video about that, about going all in. I'm going to put a card up here, and you should definitely check that out if you didn't do it already. Fourth thing, mindset about your opponent. So, I did fight against a heavyweight with like 2-3 years more experience than me, or I don't know if it was more experience, but definitely a heavyweight, and I beat him. It took like 5 minutes without a pause, and I got him in at the end into real naked choke, and that was the moment I realized that every opponent functions the same. It's like you think that is like a boss fight and you're this little hero that has to fight this boss, and the mechanics are completely different. The mechanics are completely the same. It's still a human with the same functions. Just the stats are maybe a little off. So he has more strength in this muscle, you have more strength in that muscle. I'm more mobile than you, you are bigger than me, taller than me. Everyone still can't breathe if you choke him. Every human functions the same. There are some variables that are different, but most of them are nearly the same. So treat all your opponents as equals. More like this boss here is also just a knight. But there's an exception. If you know your opponent is worse than you, treat him like it. Especially in like if you're just training, you shouldn't treat someone as equals and then choke him out directly. In this case, you should communicate with them how you want to train and this whole stuff. But in a fight, you should treat him as an equal of you. It doesn't matter how he looks like, it doesn't matter how many fights he does, it doesn't matter the belt. Focus, give it your best, don't be too arrogant and don't give it your best, don't be too shy and think that he's gonna knock you out in 3 seconds. Just equals and give it your best and use the tactics I'm gonna tell you in this video, of course. So one of these tactics is, especially if it's your first fight, to visualize your fight. So the general effects of visualizing the fight, you know what's coming. If your self-image changes if you visualize yourself winning. If you visualize yourself winning, your brain is more similar to, or knows better how to win and thinks about it more and calculates, and it's not like you're going to cold turkey into the fight. For people who are new to fighting, especially people who are in their first fight, you don't know how it feels like to be, and I don't know it, but that's my first fight. You don't know, we don't know how it feels like to fight in front of hundreds of people, and visualizing brings you and your brain and your body into that scene and helps you to not to get too nervous and prepare yourself more for that fight. So visualizing a fight works like this. You are going to visualize from the moment you wake up to the end of the fight in detail. You can really go into the detail of how the floor feels, how it feels to put on your clothes, how the cologne smells if you put on cologne in any of the moments. And then in the moment where the fight starts, you have 3 scenarios, which are all different. In one of them, in the first one, you're going to lose, so you know how it feels to lose. And the other 2, you're going to win, and really try to make them different from each other, so your brain doesn't just fixate on this one scenario of the fight. So in one you can do more standing, and on the other you're doing more groundwork, and you can also do that you're making a comeback, you winning in like 20 seconds. Choose your poison. Let's visualize now. We're just only going to do the fight or the end of the fight. Choose your martial art. You're both extremely exhausted. You're in the middle of the fight. You're both extremely exhausted, and you're extremely focused right now. And then, snap. You see an opening. You see a chance. You get into it as fast as possible. Your reaction time is on point. And it doesn't work, you think, in the first moment. Choose the scenario based on the martial art you do, and then you notice how you won. Maybe it's a tap, maybe your opponent falls down, maybe you kicked him, maybe you choked him out, and all of a sudden you won. Feel the emotion of this relief that your fight ended, that all the things you did to prepare for the fight finally paid off. Visualize saying Alhamdulillah, going into Sujud al-Shukr. Now visualize going out of the cage to your family, what they say, the reaction of people days after the fight. Visualize that now. And if you did that, now go and make it a reality. Click and watch this video, or check out the links in the description. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.